The Duke of Sussex has opened up about his own experience in the royal family and his struggles with mental health on several occasions in recent weeks and months. It all started with the interview with Oprah Winfrey, followed by his appearance on the podcast Armchair Expert, and finally his mental health series on Apple TV+ entitled, The Me You Can't See. Royal expert Russell Myers has argued that it is perfectly fine for Harry to talk about his own experiences and that he has every right to do that. However, he added that what crosses the line is bringing other people into it, especially people who are unwilling participants, who have no way of being able to counter his claims. He argued that if Harry is constantly trashing his heritage and the way he was brought up, then it just isn't necessary. In his recent interview with Dax Shepard for Armchair Expert, Harry claimed there was genetic pain and suffering that was passed on to him by his father Prince Charles, because he experienced the same thing from how he was raised by the Queen and Prince Philip. His comments about the parenting of both Charles and the Queen have proven to be very controversial, not least because neither can respond. Pod Save the Queen is hosted by Ann Gripper and features Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers. Mr. Myers noted that there were claims Prince William was angry because he and Harry had agreed not to talk about Diana publicly after their 2017 documentary marking 20 years since her death. However, he said he did not think this was necessarily the case and emphasized that it was Harry's right to talk about it. That said, he added that bringing other people into his narrative could be seen as quite unfair. He said, "I think there is a case here for saying that Harry is well within his rights to launch a mental health crusade. He's been doing it for years now. And if he wants to talk about his own experiences, well, that's perfectly his right to do so. But I think what will be an issue is that, if he is constantly trashing his heritage, the way he was brought up, the way his father was brought up, that isn't necessary. Sure, he can speak about his own experiences in life, nobody can tell him not to, but I just think it will be deemed quite unfair if he's bringing other people into that conversation who are unwilling participants and don't have any way of counterbalancing it. Because certainly you're not going to get Charles or William coming out and saying, 'Well, that's wrong and I don't agree with it.' They're not going to add fuel to the fire, are they?" He also highlighted Harry's claim that being in the royal family felt like being in The Truman Show, a film about a man whose entire life was televised for the world's amusement without his knowledge, or like a zoo. Mr. Myers argued that, if that is Harry's truth, it is odd that he is now encouraging a global media spotlight on the people who are still there living that reality. Harry said in his interview with Oprah in March that he had been trapped in the institution and that his father and brother were still trapped. He said, "My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that. Yet, despite this compassion, Harry's comments will likely be increasing the stress and worry on both Charles and William." Mr. Myers asserted that Harry is probably doing this so he can stay relevant and drive funding for his and Meghan's charitable foundation. However, Ms. Gripper said she did not think money was the only motivation, but that a desire to do good in the world clearly shone through in the podcast.